Greetings, everyone, and good morning. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Live Album War. As we're making our way, we're about halfway through round two. We should be finishing up with round two, I believe, in 9 days. All right, so probably early next week. Round two will be done. We'll then tally up everything. There's going to be a week in between as we wait for all the last couple episodes and the last couple of matchups to finish up with counting the voting type of thing. And then we'll begin round three. We're moving right along. So today we've got two pretty cool releases. Both kind of more on the sort of jazzy side. One's like a kind of rock, psych, folk, jazz, prog type thing. The other is a very cool jazz, rock, funk, fusion type of release. All right. Both very, very cool. A little bit different. One released in 71, one released in 78. The first, one into the ring. We've got Traffic. Welcome to the Canteen. All right. And on the other end of the ring, we've got the Brecker brothers, heavy metal Be-Bop. There's the two brothers right there on the front. So let's talk about the earliest one first. All right. Welcome to the Canteen from the legendary band Traffic, recorded in 1971 at Fairfield Halls, Croydon on June 6, 1971, as well as the Oz benefit concert in London, July of 1971, released also that year in 1971. So this features basically the classic lineup of Traffic, right? So we've got Steve Winwood on organ, lead vocals, electric piano, electric and acoustic guitars. You got Jim Capaldi, all right, on percussion, vocals, tambourine, Chris Wood, sax, flute, electric piano and organ. You got Dave Mason, okay, on electric and acoustic guitars, lead vocals as well. You got Rick Gretsch on electric bass, Rebop Kwakuba, love that name, on congas, timbales, and bongos, and Jim Gordon, of course, on drums. Okay, so a really super lineup. Both of these are single LP live sets. All right, here on the starting off disc one, or actually single disc, LP one, side one, I should say. You've got the wonderful Medicated Goo, all right, really catchy tune. You've got Sad and Deep as You, a Dave Mason written track, hauntingly beautiful, all right, very, very well performed on here. You've got 40,000 Headmen, all right, kind of proggy, kind of jazzy, right? Shouldn't Have Took More Than You Gave, another Mason original, another really catchy tune. You know, Dave Mason wrote some really, really memorable songs back in the day. Over on side two, you got two lengthy pieces. You've got, of course, Dear Mr. Fantasy, all right, which, of course, contains all sorts of scorching guitar duels from Winwood and Mason. It's a shame they never really played off that a little bit more, because I think these guys could have been a tremendous kind of dual guitar band. You know, the problem was Mason kind of came and went from the band so many times. I think, Winwood, mostly known for his vocals and his Hammond organ work, but man, what a good guitar player. And, you put these two guys together, they made a lot of magic, but fleeting, not enough of it, right? And then you've got Gimme Some Lovin', of course, their remake of the old Spencer Davis classic, okay, 9 minutes and change. So it's like you blink and this album's over. It's not even like 40 minutes long, but a really good one. Would we have loved a double disc set? Or a double album? Absolutely. I think that would have been the call. The same thing with this one. So Heavy Metal Be-Bop, recorded at my father's place in Roslyn, New York, released in September 1978. Okay. This features the lineup of Randy Brecker, trumpet and keyboards, Michael Brecker, his brother, tenor sax, Barry Finnerty on guitars, backing vocals, Terry Bozzio on drums, backing vocals, Neil Jason on bass, lead vocals on one track, Sammy Figueroa, percussion, Rafael Cruz on percussion. Okay, and then you got a couple other musicians who were featured, because there's one studio track on here. The kickoff track is East River, which an okay song on its own. It's kind of like an R&B pop tune, right? But not really indicative of what the rest of the album is all about. If it was up to me, I would have been like, get rid of that, put another live track in here. Would have made more sense. Because then you've got Inside Out, nearly 10 minutes long, just a fiery jazz funk fusion feast. All right, and then some Skunk Funk, one of their more memorable tunes. Sponge, the awesome Sponge. Funky See, Funky Do. All right, and then finishing it all off with an amazing rendition of Squids. Probably my favorite Brecker Brothers tune, and just a killer song with just some great. The rhythms are just groove laden. The guitar is piercing. The melodies and the hooks in the song are great. The horns are just fantastic. Just a really, really killer tune from a really killer album that, again, is what, basically not even 40 minutes long. So again, you got 2 live albums here, both great for as long as they last, and then bloop, they're done, right? So here we are at the part of the show where I got to pick a favorite. You guys got to pick a favorite. So is it Traffic, Welcome to the Canteen, or the Brecker Brothers Heavy Metal Be-Bop? For me, I love them both. I dig both of these bands. And while I probably as a band, I like Traffic better, I just think this is a better live album. Again, it's only 90% live basically, but you got the one studio track on here. But I just really dig this a lot. I think, like I said, overall, I think I probably prefer Traffic a little more. But the Brecker Brothers at their top of their game were one of the best kind of like instrumental funk fusion acts out there, and I really dig this a lot. I just think for me, it's just a little more lively. This is great too. You can't go wrong with either one. So, my guess is probably Traffic is going to run away with this one because I'm sure there's a lot of folks, we don't have as many kind of jazzy fusion-y fans here on the channel as we do, like, classic rock and, prog and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, if you haven't heard this album, if you're leaning towards picking Traffic just because you haven't heard this, give this a listen first before you vote. If you got a long history with this album, that's probably what you're going to go with, and that's cool because it's a great album. But I think if you're just voting for Traffic because you haven't heard this, at least give it a listen. If you get nothing out of the show, at least go and listen to the Brecker Brothers Heavy Metal Be-Bop, and just skip over East River. All right, or you can listen to it, but that's not indicative of the rest of the album. Okay, make sure you listen to Squids and Sponge and some Skunk Funk, Inside Out, Funky See, Funky Do. Top-notch stuff, man. It'll get you up and moving. All right, so for today, my winner is going to be the Brecker Brothers in a unanimous decision. 117, 111, 116, 114, 115, 113. They are my choice, but it's you that matters. So in the upper right-hand corner, see that little white circle with a letter I in it. Click on that. Vote for Traffic. Vote for the Brecker Brothers. Go to our Facebook page. Vote there as well. The winner in 6 days will move on to round 2. All right, and we'll see which album out of our whole tournament here becomes your #1 favorite live album of all time. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we are on YouTube all the damn time. Stay tuned tomorrow. We've got 2 more classic live album wars coming up. We got all sorts of great stuff coming up this week, so you don't want to miss it. Till then, we'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.